Well, the reason I got involved as a small group leader is my role as a creative communicator changed. So I had been doing creative communicating since my daughter was in kindergarten. And through Grace Kids, it was great because my wife was my daughter's small group leader. I did the teaching, and it really worked out well for our family. Once we got to 45th Street, the creative communicator changed a little bit. And it wasn't going to really work out well for our family. So I guess I took the role as small group leader almost kicking and screaming a little bit because I really thought my gift was on the creative communicating side of things. So as I started being a small group leader, really when my group now was in 4th grade, it really wasn't my choice, but kind of looking back, I could see it was definitely God's choice.
In the 4th grade, they split small groups into boy groups and girl groups, and I formerly had Mrs. Mathias as my small group leader in 2nd and 3rd grade, and a few other guys along with me had her as well. And so in 4th grade, Wes basically got assigned to some of the boys in her group, and then a few other boys came along, and so that's really how I met Wes. It wasn't by anybody's choice, really. It just kind of fell into place that way. He would always tell us stories from the Bible, and he always had his favorite stories that I later got to know pretty much by heart. And he was very much into us believing in us, seeing the stories in the Bible and understanding them as something that can apply to our lives. And that was always really impactful for me, especially early on, and not really understanding much of the Bible or why it existed, but just that Wes was able to kind of build a bridge there for me to apply it to myself.
The great thing about being a small group leader is you get to know each kid really on a much more intimate level. So I've seen kids at 4th grade have 4th grader problems that can come to me, and you solve little petty disturbances on the playground or during a game of Nukem or something of that nature. Well, the problems as people get into junior high and high school become a little bit more. But because I had that history, it's almost as like the parable of the talents. Because I was trusted with helping a small problem at some point, now the guys, I think, feel comfortable talking to me about bigger problems or bigger concerns or worries. And not that I always have the answers, but we can go to God together, we can go to Scripture, and sometimes it's just being there to listen.
After 45th Street, Wes actually moved up to Fuse with us. He decided that that's what he wanted to do, and he wanted to continue with our group. And then after 8th grade, he fought very hard to get into a position as a merge leader with our small group because we built such strong bonds. And in 9th grade, I actually left for a year. I lived overseas for a little while, and I came back in 10th grade, and it was pretty much as if I never left at all. Wes was extremely welcoming, and the entire group was as well, and he really has made an impact on my life because he has just shown me what a true man of God is. And I have family members and I have people in my life that have shown me that, but none more obviously than Wes. I think he's always just been there for that reason. And so I think that him being with me now this is our 8th year, it's just really shown me what I can grow up to be and shown me the man that I can really become. And that's something that I don't think I could ever say I would have had without having Wes in my life.
One of the parables that I use for my life a lot of times is the parable of the sower and putting yourself in good soil. And I think this small group for me is my good soil. So I know Sunday from 3:30 to 5:30, I will be in probably my best soil of the week. That these guys fill me up as much as hopefully I do for them as well. And it's a time of just acknowledging that God put us there for that specific purpose. Looking back, it was about me being kind of a willing vessel for God versus me trying to outline a plan, because this was not a plan that I would have ever outlined.